Good morning, good evening, and good night to anyone watching this. We are starting another game of another night, more or less, of Requiem here in London. And on this particular night, Mr. Joseph Zemerin is heading on his way to a little area known as Gordon's Wine Bar with his ghoul Antonio. Only recently coming to the country, he needs to find something to drink very quickly, and not vitae, of course, but something of more of the alcoholic area that would quench his palate. And he's heard through the manager at the motel he's currently staying at that there is a nice wine bar not too far from the area in which he is currently staying. He is casually walking down the street, as casual as you can for a Spanish man wearing a top hat with a very out of date looking suit that a man at a cemetery would usually wear for a wake of some sort. His ghoul, though, is wearing more appropriate and modern clothing, but still walks with the same general way Zay is currently walking, and he approaches the wine bar, opens the door for Antonio, and enters in himself, trying to take in the surroundings of the area. Immediately goes up to the bar and looks at the bartender, orders a glass, and, well, more or less a mug if they have it. But he then proceeds to get a glass for his ghoul as well, and just take in the locals who are currently in here. Hmm.
He'll look around and he'll see some if as a guy, as a straight guy, I take it, you still see a guy that looks quite handsome. Well, striking looks too. So someone that, well, actually looks like a male model, and you can sense the beast in him. And as he looks at you, there's the clash of the beast. There's two sense the beast in each other, and he'll smile at you.
I will. Zay looks a bit skeeved by this, just immediately finding another kindred in the city. He's not used to social interactions between his kind, or mortals for that matter anyway. He just sort of sips his wine and proceeds to just turn around and tries to look more nonchalant, if anything.
Okay, the guy will let wait for a few minutes, and if he doesn't come up to him, he'll just walk, and as he passes, he'll passes in, just stop. Well, he's at the bar. He's like at the bar itself, isn't he?
Yes, he is sitting at the bar with his mug of wine. He demanded a mug instead. If they didn't give him one, he pulled out one from a bag he has.
And he'll put a hand on Z's shoulder and says, "It is good to meet other kindred in this city."
Zay looks around, looks at the man, proceeds to.
Not kindred, sorry. I mean, sorry. I said it is good to meet other people of our social club in this city.
Either way, Zay sort of looks around to see if there are many kind nearby.
Yeah, there are a few people around.
Now, is sitting in this specifically in this vicinity though? Like, are they sort of trying to stay away from the area I'm sitting in currently?
Well, you're Nosferatu, so yeah, there'd be people trying to get away, I'd say. I'm not sure what's your like exact Nosferatu floor.
I think the Bane is just called the Lonely Curse. Zay does exude a sort of you don't want to get near this guy sort of vibe to him though. Just the way he dresses and how he sort of glares at people.
Okay. Yeah, well, there'll be like people around the bar, but there'll be trying to get away from him, like
You
not close.
notice though, right before Zay can say anything, that the other Spanish man sitting next to him, almost looks like he's reaching into his coat, but then Zay sort of grabs, just sort of nonchalantly tries to grab him and say, "Stop it, you moron!" Zay, it doesn't matter. He's one of mine. And you notice that the man takes his hand out of his coat, holding nothing. Zay sort of just looks up at this very handsome-looking individual and says, "Well, yes, it is nice to see people who share the same tastes. Please have a seat."
He'll sit next to Z. And he'll smile, goes, "My name is Chester. What is yours?"
"Joseph Zamarin, and this is my friend Antonio." Antonio sort of bows his head towards you.
Chester will reach out his hand.
Zay reaches out his, shakes it. You probably, even though you know he is using Blush of Health, his hand is still, it's still quite cold. Like his hand itself feels quite cold, very crass and callous almost.
He'll just ignore that, guessing he's one of the Horts, and he'll just say, have you been in this city long, my friend?"
No, just about a week at this point, I would say. Staying at a small motel, came in on one of the boats with those refugees.
"Very well. I guess, well, I'm quite new here too, but I know a few places if you want to meet them. Maybe another place to go to for an easy feed is a place called the Shank. Guys, you can find anything you want. Guys, any kind of meal there.
What was it called?
The Chance.
The Chance. Is it
Chance.
French?
No, Chance, as in wait. Oh, it's there we go. I'll write it down in the chat for you.
Oh, the Chance.
Yeah. And he'll say it's quite a lovely little place. The owner of the establishment is someone you must meet.
Sounds very interesting. Well, Mr. Chester, I would like to continue this conversation, but do you know if maybe there is a more private area of this establishment that we could speak in by any chance?
He'll say, of course, and he'll he'll say, yeah, he'll just get up and say, you can follow me.
Zay follows behind. You hear the clanking of his walking cane sort of hitting the floorboards, and Antonio sort of follows closely behind in tow with Zay.
And he'll keep walking past the bar, and there'll be a place that looks where there is no people, and it looks more. It looks like a little cave thing, long cave thing where there are tables and chairs set, and he'll sit at a table.
Oh, like a private room?
Yeah. Well, there's still a few chairs, but yeah, it's like a private room.
Oh, this is much better. Still holding the mug of wine, I take a very large gulp. So you are kindred like me. It's very good to find, though, other people in this city. I've had some trouble finding people of my blood.
Guys, the owner of the Chance is of your family.
My family.
Guys, from what I've guessed, from what I can guess, I think you are of guys, and forgive me if this comes off as rude, but I believe you are one of the haunts.
Haunt, such a cute little word that they use to describe us. I am. I do not care what people call me. I've been called much worse before.
And he'll just smile, guys. Well, like I said, the Chance is a very interesting place to visit. You must try one of the owner's tea parties. Always a good challenge. You'll see.
I will have to look into it. What did you say your last name was, sir?
I'm Mr. Hill. Yourself?
Joseph Zamara, of course. And Antonio, yes. What was your last name again, Antonio? He mumbles something under his breath, and basically, no, neither of you hear it, but Zay just sort of looks away like, that's Antonio.
He'll look at Antonio and goes, "What is your last name, my friend?"
Kolvenstein. Very odd last name for a Spanish man to have, as you can tell immediately.
And goes, "Well, I am pleased to meet you."
He just nods his head at you. So, I have only met one other kindred in this city currently. I've only gotten a small rundown on the local politics, I guess you could say. Do you know what much is going on around here? Just anything of importance? Anything big happened recently? I just would like to know, so I'm not out of side of the loop.
There's nothing that should be too much of a concern.
That's good. That's always good. It's not like the Lance are causing trouble again. Sorry. Just reminiscing about a time back in Spain.
Good. And goes, "Well, it is good to meet a kindred from a foreign country. The culture differences make us rich."
Cultural differences. Cultural baggage. He just continues to, every time he ends a sentence, he just chuckles a bit.
And he'll say, "Anyways, my friend, actually, I'll make a roll for this, see if, what was it roll? So, dice roll. Yeah. Presence 2 plus. 5. Yes. There we go. He'll see him looking back at the normal area. He sees a girl and he winks at her and goes, "Anyways, I have to go. I have to get my breakfast." And he smiles.
Marin just continues to chuckle a bit, and he then looks up at you and says, "Well, have a nice breakfast. Maybe add an omelet to it as well."
And he'll laugh and goes, "I'll be meeting you again." And he'll go off and you'll see him go to the girl and stop talking to her and stuff.
He looks over at Antonio and says, "What an interesting thing. I just hope he's not a member of the Sanctum. Those bastards." Antonio looks at this and says, "Well, Marin, if he is, well, we can always do something about it. No, no, no. We're not turning. This is not going to turn into the village incident again. He proceeds to just sort of get up and begin walking back to the bar to get a refill.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess we can end the scene there.
Yes, and the night will end there.